Alright, in this video I want to be sharpening one of my Opinels. This is the number 10. Had it quite a while. It's been used a lot, sharpened a lot. You know, you can see I put a notch in the handle, make it a little easier to get the blade out. You know, the blade's got a light patina on it, and it's been sharpened a lot and used a lot, but it needs a sharpening now. What I'm going to do is something a little bit different. I'm going to sharpen it with a relatively cheap stone. This is a Smith stone that I got from Walmart for like $7.50. And after this, I'm going to finish it off on a ceramic rod that I bought locally. I got this for 99 cents. And I'm going to see how sharp I can get it on these. This is alumina, 100 grit, 240 grit. So. Give you a quick idea how sharp this is. Yeah, not very sharp. This stone, I haven't lapped it or done anything. It was relatively flat, you know, when I got it, and I haven't used it a whole bunch, but mainly just you know, removing material. The 100 grit, it's starting to get kind of smooth, and I'm probably going to resurface it on some silicon carbide, but it still cuts fairly well. So this is just soapy water, Dawn dish soap and some water. Make sure I'm still focused here. The stone is really soaking up the water. Wow. Alright, got a burr worked up. I probably should have soaked this stone. Work on the other side for a bit. Got a burr worked up. I'm going to flip over. This is a, like I said, 100 grit, 240 grit aluminum oxide. Now I could go from 100 grit to the ceramic, but if you go a little bit finer, finer grit, I think it gives a better edge after you're done on the ceramic. 240 is not exactly high grit, but quite a bit finer than the 100 grit. So. Get a burr worked up. flip over, work on the other side a little bit. You can hear it, got a big old burr worked up real quick. Alright. Now before I go on to the ceramic rod, wipe the stone off, wipe the blade off, and the burr is on this side. You can hear it. And there's nothing on this side. So what I'm going to do is just take some light passes, try and remove the burr that's on this side. Again, no downward pressure, just the weight of my hand and the knife. Take one or two passes and check. There's still some burr there. So. Not necessarily trying to remove every last bit of it, but I want to knock it down before I go into that ceramic as much as I can. And if I use too much pressure, it's just going to flip the burr onto this side, or it's going to create one over here, which I don't want to do. I can feel a real small one. Oops. Should cut halfway decent. Cuts, but a little bit rough. But overall, I think that's good enough. The ceramic, like I said, I got this for 99 cents. I did take some sandpaper, wet dry, because it was really rough, and I knocked it down and smoothed it out. It seems to work pretty well after that. Now I'm going to sharpen, basically, I'm going to hit it on this rod at the same angle. I'm probably sharpening it at 15 degrees, and I'm going to maintain that. If you wanted to add like a little bit of durability to the edge, you can increase that, add a little micro bevel to it, 18, 20 degrees, somewhere around there. But even on a lower angle on these knives, the blade's so thin it still cuts well, and it doesn't tend to roll or anything like that, I've found. So if you go like really crazy, like 8, 10 degrees or something like that, it probably would, the durability would probably be pretty bad, but at 15 it seems to hold pretty well. Right around there. Now all I'm doing is the weight of my hand. I'm not putting any downward pressure, and after I do a handful of passes like that, I'm going to start to lighten the pressure up. Where in the end, I'm going to be using the lightest pressure I possibly can. If you use this type of rod, be sure you don't put your hands, your fingertips and your thumb up over that, because you can slice a big hunk of jerky right out of your hands real quick. So if you do get one of these, be careful. The ceramics work really well for this. They're very hard, and they work, like I said, they work well for the final apexing. I have no idea what the grit of this is, but it seems relatively hard. Like my Idaho, I've got a couple of those, and it's pretty close to that. It doesn't feel quite as nice, but alright, give it a quick check here. nice and sharp. Definitely a big improvement over the stone. Now I'm really lighting up the pressure. Alright, I think I'll call that good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to strop it. What I'm going to use is, this is some Harbor Freight out of one of their flyers they send, just in paper. You can use this, you can use regular white copy paper. Most of the papers, during the manufacturing process, they spray it with a really fine aluminum oxide powder, which acts as an abrasive. Some of the inks act as an abrasive, but I found that this works pretty well overall. And it's free, so. Take my stone, set it inside the paper, and I'm going to roll it up as tight as I can. You don't want any slop or slack in the paper. That's pretty good, just like that. And I'm just going to strop it. It may not seem like it would do anything, but believe me, it does. It makes quite a big difference. And you know, if you have some compound with you, you can just, you know, add it right to the paper, just like you would leather, wood, anything else. Feels very sharp. I don't think it's quite hair whittling. It might be, but I'll try it out. Yeah, it is. It's grabbing on there. Just pop the hair right in half. It's hard to see, kind of, but you can see it's whittling. And a little bit more stropping on that paper. And there's no doubt it would get a little bit sharper. Grab another hair here. And again, that's with a stone and a ceramic that's under $10, and a piece of paper to hair whittling. So it just goes to show you don't got to spend a bunch of money on stones and guided sharpeners to get your knife sharp. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comments, please feel free to leave them below, and I'll try and get back to you.